Welcome back to the Game Changers podcast. My name is Jay Taft. I'm your host, and I'm here with my good friend, Liv.
Hi. This is so weird for me. I am honored, first of all.
Yay.
Second of all, this just feels like very professional, and I feel like I'm being interviewed. This is just new. This is new. I like it.
Good. Because, probably have you on the podcast a little bit more,
Okay.
in the future. So,
Okay.
This is your test run.
I'm cool with that. Let's see if I pass the test first. First things first. All right.
First. Liv, before we kind of get into your background and you tell people who you are, I just wanted to welcome you guys back to the podcast and just kind of give you a little rundown. Today we're going to be talking more on the topic of fitness and also faith. Liv is she's an amazing musician, content creator, all that good stuff. But one of the things we bonded over was fitness, because I was at a weird spot with my fitness journey, and you were crushing it from what you were telling me, and then obviously being in the gym with you after. So you inspired me in fitness. So that's why I wanted you to be on. Plus, you're a Christian, and I love that.
Yeah,
so
I
just want to hear your wisdom, but also I want the people to hear your wisdom. So
Okay.
I know I gave a little rundown, but kind of give us a little bit more background to who you are.
Yeah, well, my name is Liv, and I moved to OC, as they say here, a year ago. I moved here and joined a YouTube group called Amp World. So we make content more geared towards kids, and it's fun challenges, pranks. We have a lot of fun together. The whole group is just amazing. They've very quickly just become family. So I just feel really blessed to have this opportunity where I can create fun videos, and it's on my schedule, and I'm really enjoying it. But then at the same time, building an audience for music is the end goal. Like Jay said, I'm a musician, so I play a few different instruments. I sing and write and release music. So it's just cool that those two things are paired, where it's content creation and also my passion for music just kind of go hand in hand.
That's cool.
Until ultimately it's music is just the full-time focus, and I can kind of gear away from social media. But that's basically what I do, and what I'm about is just really sharing my story through music and ministering to people with that, because God's really put that on my heart, that's a calling of mine, and it's a journey for sure, but it's really, really fun. I'm loving it.
Yes, It's awesome. Well, it's really cool to be your friend and be able to champion you alongside of that, and actually see God's hand on your life and your purpose and the abilities that he's given you. So that's super cool, which I love. So thank you for telling a little bit about your story. Okay, first question is, I ask everybody this question, but we're going to kind of change it up for you. Okay, so what is a piece of advice that you would give your younger self starting your fitness journey, looking back now of all of the working out you've done? What is that piece of advice you would give?
So many things. So many things. I started to work out pretty consistently halfway through high school. I would say. So I was 16 or 17. And, when you're 16 and 17, you're kind of, what's the word? An idiot. So that's pretty much what I was.
That is not what I expected.
You're very you got a good head on your shoulders. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You're an idiot.
You think you know everything, but you don't. So I'm going to tell you, honestly, when I first started to work out, my only reason for working out was I want guys to look at me. I want guys to look at me. I want every single guy to look at me.
That's relatable.
Yeah. So it was very self-centered, very narcissistic, and honestly just exhausting. You can only keep that up for so long.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help with the consistency factor, and I burned out really quick. because it doesn't work that way. Like, even if you do achieve your body goals, you don't get to this place where you're like, I'm getting so much attention and I'm satisfied with that and life is good. You always just want more. So I very quickly was like, oh shoot, this isn't why I should be doing it. So me now would tell my 16-year-old me, dude, stop being so freaking full of yourself. Like, you are so annoying. And do it for other reasons, which we can kind of get more into
absolutely
later. But I think, just one piece of advice would be that fitness is not only directly correlated to the outward appearance and the change that you see and the attention that you get. That should not be the sole reason why you're working out. So
that's what
I'd
say. No, that is so good, because that has been a struggle for me even now, which is like funny, being like, you would think however many years I've been an athlete from all the way through college, and it's like in my brain I'm like now like I'm like, let me work out because of the aesthetics thing, instead of like no, fitness is like good for you and it's healthy. And that was like a huge challenge, and like that was one of the things that I brought to you, was like, why is it, and this is what I think you were feeling, is why is it so hard to work out to be healthy? Like, why am I in my brain, right, I'm like, every time I tried to work out, it just wasn't working, because in college or high school or this, I was always training, and I didn't realize I was training this way, but I was always training to get the college scholarship, right? To make varsity, to be the best college player I can be, or continue to have a spot, you know what I mean, on that college team. So when I was working out and in my strength training or in my basketball workouts, like constantly, like 6 to 7 days a week for 15 years, you would think I would have developed good habits to like continue that. But when I was done playing, I was so burnt out, and I was so like, oh, I don't have to work out. Like, I can take a break. And that's like how I felt. And then when I wanted to work out again, it was a struggle. And honestly, I still struggle with that to this day. It's a little bit better than it was, but it was like, why am I working out? I have no goal. Like, there's nothing I'm trying to compete with. There's like, and I don't like running, so like marathons, like, you know what I'm saying, like you can like do things like that, or like I don't really like I wouldn't do a CrossFit competition or like those things. So I'm like, the adult sporting competitions, I'm like, I'm not interested in. So what am I training for? Jay, to be healthy. But like my brain,
it's like there has to be an end goal.
There's no end goal.
Results. End goals.
So it's like, it sucks where I feel like those results, like post athletics, might be like an aesthetic thing, where it's like to be toned again or to have that athletic body again. But then I'm like, but why? And I know that's wrong. And I know that that's not a great way of thinking about it, but that's been a real life struggle. So I feel you on that. For sure.
I mean, I cannot sit here and be like 100% like it's all for the mental benefits, it's all to glorify God, it's all, I can't 100% say that. And I genuinely think if anyone says, oh no, like I work out, 0% of it is for the physical, like the looks. I would genuinely think they're lying. I think that it will always be there, but I think it's having like a healthy approach and keeping that in check.
For sure.
It's kind of like, I don't know, like if you're making money, it's like you do want nice things. Like if you're ambitious and you're goal oriented and you're making this money and still you're giving it back and utilizing it as a tool, you're still going to treat yourself to some nice things, and like that's a perk. So it's like, when I see some abs popping up or like whatever, I'm like, I look good. And I like that. But it's not like the central reason why. That's because big. I can't keep doing it just for me and how I look, and I can't do it for other people to see me and give me attention either. Like just the aesthetic is not enough. So it's just keeping it in check. But I don't think that it's a bad thing to want to look good at all.
No.
And it will always be there.
So kind of piggybacking off of that, obviously we're both women of faith, you're a Christian, we bond a lot over that. What do you feel like in your fitness, everyday fitness, you working out, all of that stuff, what do you find correlates also with your faith? Like how do you keep both of those kind of in balance or in check with one another? I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, which I think is like a little
I don't even think cliche, but it's just like, I could see that coming, is that your body's a temple. It just is.
Yeah.
So I think
the Bible verse on screen.
like you saw that coming, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like fitness, your body, and God. How? Well, there's really only one answer here. Your body's a temple, and the Bible says that.
Yeah.
But it is related to so many areas of your life, like nutrition, like your habits, your mental state, that's part of the body, your, working out. So there's so many different factors that play into your overall glorification to God with your whole body. So I think that in regards to fitness, it's like sometimes, oh my gosh, I will actually get emotional, like working out towards the end of a workout where all these endorphins are released, and I'm not like super like scientifically keen on exactly what happens, but I'm assuming
something's happening.
I know endorphins are released. I'm just gonna guess that
One of
also
those things.
dopamine and serotonin and crap. Probably.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good.
We're
and,
scientists
like
over
you're
here.
sweating and you feel like you're doing the thing. You feel good physically, and
Yeah.
I have felt like mentally a release as well.
Yeah.
And then I also feel like kind of a wave of gratitude because I just feel good in my body. I feel clear in my mind, and I just have like this overwhelming sense of like gratitude and thankfulness that I have the ability to work out and like to take care of myself. And it is a privilege because a lot of people don't. Health complications or just inabilities that restrict them from going to the gym, or just their lifestyle. They don't have the resources, or like maybe financially to like be able to have a nice gym membership or whatever it is. It's like the fact that I can do this and I show up and I'm taking care of myself and I feel good and I'm just releasing stress and endorphins. Like it's a form of worship to me. It's so it's therapeutic. So also something that slaps is sometimes, I won't do this every time, but listening to worship music. I'll kind of put on some worship music when I just can't get through the workout, or if I'm starting to feel a little unmotivated, and I just want to like quit. I'm like, what? I don't feel like it today. I just want to go. But if I put on like that one song and then I'm doing cardio to that song or finishing that set to that song, it gives me like this extra like supernatural boost that goes beyond just the physical strength. It's sick.
That is so true.
know?
Oh my gosh, yeah, because that
It's
is
so correlated.
No, it is so true, because I used to think it was so, forgive me, Lord, so cheesy when people would be like, this is how you dedicate your workout to the Lord. Like, this was like before everything, right? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, you're just like working out. You know what I mean? Like, I would think that. But then when I started to like get more in my faith and like understand it, and then I was like struggling with my fitness journey, and something as simple as getting on the treadmill and walking for 30 minutes, but like doing like a hard walk or like an incline. Like, there were times where I was filled with so many lies. Like, you can't do this, like, stop, like, you're too tired, 15 minutes is fine, you don't have to finish the 30, right? And then I was able to catch those lies, and immediately, I'm like getting like actual chills, like, talking about this. Immediately when I was like, I prayed, and I was like, Lord, help me. I don't have the strength right now. I really don't. I want to stop. Let me be real vulnerable right now. I want to stop this workout right now because I don't want to do this. Like, 30 minutes, no. 15,
who wants to
I
do
can
that?
do it. I don't want to do it. When I prayed and I was like, Lord, I need your strength in this right now, I went 45 minutes. It was incredible. I was like,
yeah.
This
like,
is
where
like
did this energy come from? Because it's like not, it just went beyond where you were before physically. I totally feel that. And I think it's just such, here's the thing about working out for me. I don't always want to work out. I would say it's probably 50-50.
For sure.
50-50. 50% of the time I feel like I want to go. I'm like, yeah, this sounds like fun. Let me go do that. And then the other half of the time I'm like, I don't want to. But I think that going anyway and showing up and getting those like mental roadblocks out of the way and like pushing past the like limiting beliefs and the negative mindsets is training for other areas in life. It's like the fact that I can practice that at the gym is gonna give me that same sort of mental resistance and like awareness with other things that I'm faced that like I don't want to do. So I think it's like a really good mental workout too, to push through the workout even if you don't feel like doing it and you don't want to show up. That's gonna help in so many other areas of your life too.
That's so biblical too. Like that is so biblical because like we aren't called to our flesh, right? Our flesh wants to tell us what to do, not do this, all that kind of thing.
Just discipline.
Yeah, it's discipline, it's obedience. Like how many times in our walk do we not want to do something, or like this is hard, I don't want to do this right now, whether that, I don't know. There's so many examples of that, and that is so biblical of like using a workout or fitness like to help train you through those like mental things, or just show like stewarding your body well. And that's something too, like I really felt low-key convicted when you talked about gratitude and like with working out, where it's like after a workout, like I've started to pray a lot after, like, Lord, thank you for the ability to actually do this workout, because there's a lot of people our age that we're starting to see like that might have had an injury or like are in a wheelchair or are like not able to work out fully, you know what I mean, like certain things like that. So it's like I feel very lucky and blessed to have 2 feet to walk on, and sometimes I feel like that could be cliche. You're like, well, duh, you have 2 feet, but it's like, no, it's true. Like I just saw a girl on TikTok. She was a cheerleader and fell from a really bad stunt and is in a wheelchair now. She's a high school kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I look at that, it really convicts me, and I'm like, why am I being almost lazy for this workout where like she can't even, you know, she was an athlete and now she can be like in the way that she was before. Right. So I think that's really important. And even like the word we could talk about like stewarding our bodies well and stuff. And, you know, for me, obviously being a coach, being a young coach, like on my feet all the time, like trying to demonstrate drills, all that, you know, I can get away with it because I'm young and I'm still active and like all this stuff. But like I look at my parents, and my dad's a coach and he's like 56, and like you wouldn't think that by the way he like moves, and he inspires me in that way. But I'm like, Jay, you're not setting yourself up for success right now to be that at 56 and coach. You know what I mean? And personally, I feel like the Lord has called me to basketball, has called me to coach. Like that's my vehicle, right, to spread the gospel. But if I'm not stewarding my calling well, which is physical fitness, it's actually being up and active, like how am I going to serve the Lord in that? So it's like another thing where it goes deeper, where it's like, dude, that's part of your calling. That's part of like stewarding that, and it's not always going to be fun. So that was another thought I had from what you said.
So good, because discipline in so many areas. It takes discipline to wake up early. You should wake up early. What's the address of the perfect wife or something in the Bible? Proverbs wife?
Oh yeah, Proverbs 31.
Yeah. She's like a badass.
No, she is.
She wakes up before the sun. Like, you lost me already. That takes discipline. I'm like, am I doing that? Like that in so many different ways, but it's discipline to show up to the gym even when you don't feel like it. And it's not like, oh, push through. Oh, like it's not some like, you know, toxic whatever. Like you gotta keep grinding even when you don't feel like it, and like don't feel anything. It's not that, but it's still showing up, even if it's to stretch. Listening to your body at the same time, but it's the effort and the action and the discipline and all of it. It's just crucial, like in so many different ways. Waking up early, journaling, having the prayer time, the devotional time, because it's so much easier to just wake up and go on TikTok or wake up and go on Instagram. That doesn't take any discipline. No. It takes no discipline to eat Dunkin' Donuts every day. It's like, and that's what I want.
It's like right there. So it's like
I can see it in and out from my apartment. It stares at me. It's literally like I look over it and it's like this. It's like, and I have to resist. So in so many different ways, discipline is everything, and it just there's so much reward when you are consistent with all of those things that you should be doing, even when you don't feel like doing it. Yeah, it's what we got to do, man.
Yeah.
And I feel really proud of myself for where I'm at with fitness, because I am in a place where like it's so habitual now, like it's so routine that it's like, this is what I do. I don't struggle the way that I used to, or I burn out, or it's just much more in a consistent space.
For sure.
It's like a part of my life.
For sure. Absolutely.
Lifestyle.
That's so. Going off of that, what were some things that you found helped you in that discipline? You know what I mean? Like, I know for me, like, it was like accountability. So like when we started, it was like, and it was actually funny. It was like it was a prayer that I had, like, of wanting to start my fitness journey again and all this, but like needing an accountability buddy, you know, because I just know myself, and I'm like, I think if I have this, and then like you came along, and then we had like that 3-hour coffee date or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay. Literally next morning at like we were working out early. Yeah. We were getting at the gym at like 6:37. Yep. Most of the times, and it was great. And then we kind of like, then you had like a trip, so then, like,
and then it just threw it all off. Yeah.
And it's not your fault, but
for a while there, we really were like on it, and it was very consistent. And the fact that I knew that you were going and you knew that I was going, it was like accountability on both sides. But then it was also like after my trip and things were really like picking up as far as work, now I couldn't like be as consistent with the time, but I still would go later, and then just life
for sure.
But I think accountability is freaking huge, because even if the person isn't like with you physically, there's still ways that other people can keep you accountable. Before we did our thing and I lived in Vegas, I wanted to do like a 60-day hard type thing. So my boyfriend's brother, Juan, I was like, I want to be in the gym at 6 a.m. like in the gym, and I'm going to do an hour every single weekday. So how do you want to keep me accountable for that? Do I send you a Snapchat with the timestamp that I'm in the gym at 6? How are we going to do this? So he would FaceTime me. He would set a timer every morning. He was just like such a good friend like that, like really keeping me accountable.
That's amazing.
He'd FaceTime me at 6. And if when I answered the phone, I'm not in the gym, it didn't count. Like, it was brutal. I had to like, it wasn't just let me show up at like 6:15, 6:30, 6:40. Yeah, I'm still going to the gym. No, I'm going to do exactly what I said I'm going to do. And we even took it one step further, where every single minute that I was late was $1. So throughout the 60 days, I racked up a little bit, and I sent him a nice little Venmo. But that's when you are also putting money on the line and you have somebody checking in on you, you're going to do what you said you're going to do. And I was pretty freaking toned by the end of those 60 days, because I was just like on it.
It's amazing.
So accountability, yes. And then also, I think another thing that just helps is rewarding yourself in small ways. For me, I love the Yasso Greek yogurt fudge pops. And
so specific. I love it.
It's the fudge pops with the fudge pieces in it. Oh, there's a fudge flavor, not that one. The fudge swirl with the fudge pieces in it is so good. Lord. It's like little chunks. They are healthier. They're like 100 calories and like 5 grams of protein. So I feel a little like not guilty. But I'll kind of reward myself. Like, okay, I worked out today. I'm gonna have one of those fudge pops later. So like, I already know that that's my little treat. Yeah. Just positive reinforcement. That's also helpful.
Super, I also think this sounds so dumb, but I think like a cute workout outfit too. Oh yeah. That helps. Oh yeah. I know it sounds so funny, but it really helps. So like athleisure is fun. Yeah. It's so fun, and like all the fun little like outfits you can put together, and like those kinds of things. So I think that also is
that is so true.
A little motivation.
Yeah, if I get like super comfy leggings that just feel good and make me feel strong, and just like yeah, I totally get what you mean. And then also, you know, when you just catch yourself in the mirror, you're like, these leggings make me look good. I like it. Let's keep it's a confidence thing. Yeah.
There is like going back to like us working out, there was like a funny time where we were doing like, so Liv has this thing where she loves working out her legs and her booty.
Yeah.
Okay, like there wasn't a lot of arm stuff at all.
Yeah.
I had to go off and do arms by myself
Well,
if I
also,
wanted. Oh, hello.
I'll just show the people. I don't work out my arms, and these are my jeans. Okay.
Gymnast jeans right here.
Like, I don't work out my arms, but I still got a little bump just from carrying weights to do legs. If I actually worked out my arms, and I used to when I was living in New York, I don't know why, but I thought that was like what I had to do. And so I would do arms multiple times a week. And there are photos that I look back on where I'm like, that's not it. So I just kind of ditched that.
Yeah.
I will do upper body as far as like back a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, legs are kind of where it's at for me.
Well, it was like hilarious because I thought I had pretty good legs. Like, they've been pretty blessed with strong legs, I guess. But then I just like didn't work them out for a while. So then when I was with you, it was like 2 weeks straight of just like legs, like anything lower body.
Yes.
Legs.
Yes.
So I was like, I was talking to a guy at this point, and we were hanging out.
Ow.
It's not even. Okay. We're gonna move past that because it's not even a thing.
You're like, shut up. And stop.
And scene. But he like
just edit it out.
Somehow he like touched my leg, like he like was joking. You know how you like tickle people and you like squeeze their like kneecap or whatever, but he squeezed
and then
like,
oh,
my quad, and he was like, dang, you got strong legs. Immediately, I didn't even take ownership of it. Immediately I was like, dude, that's my friend Liv. I was like, that's my friend Liv.
You're like,
I was like, it is literally the 2-3 weeks straight of like legs and like all of that kind of stuff. So that was like a proud moment where I was like, yeah. And it felt good to be called strong. Like, I liked being called strong than like your legs looked good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was like something about the word strong feels really good.
It's like the difference of being called like, you know, a compliment where you're so smart or you're pretty. It's like, I don't, thank you for calling me smart. Like, you're acknowledging, like, it's on a deeper level than just like, oh, your legs look good. It's like, you look strong. It means you put in work. Yeah. It means you're disciplined. It means you got,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know, it's different.
The last thing too is I don't like to over spiritualize things, right? Like giving power where power shouldn't be given. But I also think too that the enemy does like to use attacks when it comes to physical fitness. You know what I mean? So for me, there's like even things where literally I could name 3 different times in the past year that I've really like, it's been laid on my heart really heavy to like get back in your fitness journey, get back in fitness. And I'll go and I'll sign up for something, whether that's like a class or even like working out with you or like different things like that. And I'll be going for like a week and I'll feel really good. And then I've gotten like really sick, like a week or so after, to the point where I had to stop the workout. And I don't get sick a lot. Like, it's even like when I wasn't working out a whole lot, like I just don't get sick very often. And it was like the sickness to where I had to literally stop working out for like a week straight. And it would always pop up when I was like getting those like revelations to work out. So I am still trying to figure it out, right? But for those of you who might be feeling that, or like whether that's like actual physical sickness or maybe you've had a pre-existing injury and it's flaring up, or like lies that come into your head, or, you know, things like that, you know, just keep fighting through that. Like, obviously I'm still working through that, and that is something that I'm very trying to heavily pray about, try to be more you know, better and disciplined about. But have you ever felt that before? Has that ever been something?
Yeah, well, for me, it's like if I wasn't able to work out because I got sick or because I was just too busy or I'm traveling a lot, there was a time, and I still definitely do deal with this, where I feel like I'm dropping the ball. Like, I feel not as confident. I feel unproductive. And that's a lie, because it's like your body needs the rest, or you literally are too busy. Don't tell yourself that like you're losing it. You're getting away from your goals. It's like that shouldn't also be, even if your fitness is in a really good place and like mentally you've kind of like got a good grasp on it and your why, still it's very easy when you get off of that groove to start to tell yourself that you're not doing enough. And I think it's a little bit too much of an anchor to be happy throughout the day. At least for me, it's like if I didn't get my workout in the morning, the day's a little off. And I'm like, it shouldn't have to be that way. It definitely helps me have a better day. It helps my mental clarity. It helps me feel better. But it shouldn't be like it's a bad day if I didn't have a workout. So I think when you do get sick or when you just can't, it's just grace. Like literally just show some grace for yourself. You're a freaking human. Like your body needs rest. It's fine. And actually it's counterproductive. If you're trying to, I think what you mean when you say push through it is like more mentally, like to do what you can, if you can, if it's just stretching or like a sauna sesh or whatever. But if you are going to push through it physically, it's counterproductive to what your body needs. It's like, that's again, another way to just glorify God by being like, if you're telling me to take a step back, then I will. So that's a whole thing.
That is. Rest is really important. And it's like about finding where the challenge for me has been and whatnot is like, okay, well, after you've recovered from being sick, well, now I'm not sick, so like, where's the gym at? You know what I mean? Like, go back to it. And I think like as athletes, that's what I try to instill in my athletes all the time is like, you have to have grace for yourself. I'm really tired of like culture telling you like, go, push, like no rest. Like if you're not resting this, like you said, it's so counterproductive and so against what it is, because
I hate that too.
Because there's actual science with it. And again, we're not scientists, and like you guys can literally look this up, but about how more and more research keeps coming out about how rest is so important, sleep is so important, and all these things, where literally if the Lord rested, why are we as humans sitting here saying we shouldn't rest? We should only sleep 4 hours a night. We should go. We should, you know what I mean? Like that makes no sense to me. Zero.
That is like that is not how to have like a quality life. Like there's so much beauty in just resting and just being content and at peace with where you're at. There definitely is a time to work, but then there's definitely a time to just like chill out. Because then you're putting your worth in just striving. My sister is like really big on that. If you're into the Enneagram and stuff, we both are 3s. So we're very goal oriented, and it's easy for us to just strive and work for our worth. And she has this whole course like on how to derail that thinking of like working for your worth. I need to prove myself to, it's like you're working from it. You're chilling. You already have it. You don't have to push like crazy. God's gonna do what he's gonna do regardless. And actually, if you want to get there faster, work smarter, not harder. And a smart way to approach work is to rest, because you're going to be more creative and you're going to have more energy and you're going to have more mental clarity. So it's like, if you want to achieve those goals, again, it's counterproductive to grind and get it and hustle and run yourself dry physically.
Exactly. Well, like even like, let's put this into it. Like this is just coming to my brain is like, when we have this hustle culture, right? When we're hustling, when we're doing all this work, when we're working all the time, to me, that's a control thing.
For sure.
That's like me taking it in my hands and controlling it. And I used to be that. So I can speak from experience where it was like, why am I not there yet? Like, why are people passing me this? I gotta work. I've been putting in the work. Why? Like all this stuff. But it was the funniest thing that when I rested and I took my hands off of it and I just like would do what I needed to do, but like I wouldn't overwork, right? How the Lord just opened doors for me and was like, here you go. Like most of the clients that I have here that I'm like private training, I did not seek out one of them. They came to me. And so that is so crazy too. Like talking about that is like when you rest, it's so counter what our flesh wants.
Yeah.
Our flesh wants control. We want to make the results. We want to do this when that's not for us.
Yeah.
We're called to rest in all aspects. We're talking about work and like career and like all of those things, but like rest is in every aspect of our life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
true.
that's something too, like I would love to maybe do a podcast like simply on rest. I think that would be sick because it's like I think more people need it.
There's a lot to unpack.
There's a lot to unpack, and I'd love to like prep that because we got to do a podcast on rest. Let's do it. So be on the lookout for that. But Liv, before we head out, any last thing you want to say?
I have a song coming out.
She does have a song. Fuck the song.
I was like, am I about to do this right now?
You can.
Yeah, it's called Ahead of Me. And it's all about comparison and jealousy.
Made me cry.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Jay got a little emotional. There's going to be a music video and stuff. But I guess you can search Ahead of Me, Liv, Liv.
Yeah.
Spotify, iTunes and stuff. I'm really excited. I just got one of the final mixes yesterday, and it's just like, it's coming together. So
amazing.
That's all I got.
I love it. All right, guys, make sure if you have any questions or any added comments that you have to this conversation, leave them in the comments below. We will see you guys next week. Liv, thank you so much for joining. Love you. And being one of the first guests on the new Game Changers podcast.
I just love that.
Yeah.
This is legendary.
It's like super awesome.
And
I'm really
also
pumped.
like what a freaking amazing job as a host. You just like Jay is one of the most like she is the definition of a social butterfly. You literally look up social butterfly. It's a picture of Jay, and she's just so personable and like good with just like saying words. So that was like very easy.
Thank you.
You're just like, and we're gonna flow into this, and we're gonna flow into this, and that's it. It's just like it's just perfect.
Well, thank you, because half the time I'm like, what did I just say?
You're like, well, I just blacked out. So good to hear. I'm glad.
So that made me feel good. Okay, we're
You're like,
done.
this whole time I was unconscious. So. Oh my God.
We're good. We'll see
And
you guys
with that,
next week.
see you later.
Peace.
So good.